remember the first time I saw an S-76, and I felt like that was the neatest and prettiest looking helicopter I had ever seen. The moment that you see it take off and the gears retracted, it just sends chills.
The S-76 helicopter entered the scene in February of 1979 as Sikorsky's first commercial production aircraft. At the time, operators were beginning to use larger twin-engine machines, so the S-76 was Sikorsky's answer to this growing need for offshore oil transport that would be faster, more efficient, and of course provide the safe transportation of personnel to and from the oil platforms in the Gulf of Mexico.
At the time that I got down here, the activity was fairly busy, but it was in about the 30 to 60 mile range offshore. And as the oil industry started to expand further out, it became evident that there was a need for an aircraft that could go out a little bit further out and crew change personnel in and out of the Gulf of Mexico.
The kind of job the 76 was designed to do and handle was to transport a large quantity of personnel, go over a great distance at a good speed.
Air Logistics was not happy with the efficiency and the speed of the helicopters that they owned. And they were looking for a faster helicopter. And when you replace an aircraft that's capable of 90 knots with a helicopter that's flying 140 knots, it made an extremely big difference in the aircraft.
Without question, when it first came into the Gulf, it didn't have a pier. Probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 25% faster than anything we had been using. When we first got it, the difference between what we had been flying in the 76, for instance, flying IFR and IMC, was huge. It was such a stable platform to fly in the clouds.
It's all about efficiency and speed at the end of the day. When you look at a large amount of people needing to get moved to and from offshore, the 76 really offered that advantage.
The first thing we noticed is our flight time got reduced by 50% due to the speed and the efficiency of the 76. So naturally we had to adjust our rates. Air Logistics initially bought 30 S-76s. We took delivery on the first 10 relatively quickly, and then over the years the rest of them sort of trickled in.
It performs well, the smoothness of the ride and the ability to get up to a cruising altitude and comfortably fly for an hour at a time and then come back in. It just was a totally different feel from what aircraft we had in the past. On any given day, we normally take 2 to 3 trips, exchanging 8 to 10 people out at a time. So you're talking about 30 personnel out and about 30 personnel in. Well, you have to remember that these are men and women that rely on us to provide the transportation to bring them out for their livelihood. And it's also our responsibility to try to get them in as quickly and safely and efficiently as we can.
The versatility of the aircraft has really contributed to the rich history that the S-76 has been as part of one of Sikorsky Aircraft's successful products. It started out with the primary mission of providing offshore oil transport, but it carved a nice piece of the pie in the utility, EMS, and executive transport segments. It's also used for search and rescue. And over the course of time, since it took its first flight in 1977, the S-76 has done some pretty interesting missions along the way. Everything from transporting an injured teenage girl to a hospital after the Haiti earthquake, to relocating sea turtles displaced when an oil platform was being moved.
There was 2 Kemp Ridley sea turtles that kept circling the platform. The 2 turtles would just not leave, so they quickly designed a small swimming pool that we could fit in the back of the S-76. The 2 turtles were flown there, taken care of for 90 days, and then we actually had a mission to pick them up again and bring them back out to their home right about where we had picked them up.
We went back and looked at some of the statistics on the hours of the 76 in era, and looks like we just passed about 55,000 total flight hours since we've had them in the late 90s. That equates to about 500,000 passengers carried and about 800 times around the world.
It's been a very reliable helicopter to me, and I've enjoyed flying it for the 30 plus years that I've been in the aircraft. I still think that it is the prettiest helicopter out there.
In order to work on the Gulf of Mexico, you have to be reliable. On crew change day, there are very, very few spare aircraft. So your aircraft has to go to work every day. And the 76 is quite capable of that. I mean, it has become extremely reliable.
When you consider the history of the S-76 helicopter, it's really been a great success story for Sikorsky Aircraft. Anytime you introduce a new product into a field of established performers, you're taking a chance that your aircraft will have a tough time making its mark. Well, today there are more than 675 S-76 helicopters flying all over the world. It's been through several variants, and it's really come into its own in proving itself as a solid performer. Our customers have helped us to reach a global fleet milestone of 6 million flight hours. That's a nice round figure, and we're looking forward to watching that number grow as the S-76 helicopter continues to write its next chapter in Sikorsky history.